So, because the whole process of mishpachah, which is the Hebrew word for family, is to draw the anointing out. Literally, the word Mashiach is contained within mishpachah. And so as family here on Patreon, we are helping assist each other draw that anointing out. And that's what we're doing here. And so we're going to start with the language today. This is a living message that is growing together as family grows, and we walk this out hand in hand. I'm going to get to my notes here because I had a couple things I wanted to say, and I do not want to forget them because I want to be able to follow in an order that you guys will be able to follow with me, because I tend to sometimes when I get excited, get a little scatterbrained. Honestly, I do. I do want to make mention to you that after the first of the year, starting January 1st, for those of you who would like to have group tutoring, I am offering that on the Haikala level. Normally, when I do tutoring, it's $50 per session for an hour and a half on one-on-one, and I still offer that. I love to have people do one-on-one with me. It allows me to get to know them better. But to make it more cost-effective for people, I really felt Spirit press upon me that I need to make this available as well. And so what we will be doing an hour and a half before our Saturday share time, starting in the beginning of January, the first Saturday after the first of the year, we will be doing group tutoring. Where we're going to start is with the Song of Solomon. For those of you who do not know what the theme of the Song of Solomon is, when you go into the sacred language, Solomon was writing about his own love journey within. There was no Shulamite. If you look at the etymology, you look at the words, it is him and himself, the masculine and the feminine energy that he was working through. And he wrote his story of that sacred wedding that took place within him in poetry. And I know there's been much that has been said about who the Shulamite was and whatnot. And I'm okay with other interpretations, but for what Ken and I have discovered in it, we saw it quite quick. It was him writing his own love story in making love, because we have to learn what that looks like unconditionally. We come out of the womb and we learn conditions pretty quickly, but this is how we are able to make it into the unconditional state of absolute.
Yeah, it's his own constitution of resolve.
It is
through a narrative of poetry.
Like Spirit just dropped something in me on the fly, and I had never said this before. This language is technology. And what I'm saying that it is highly advanced in what it does. And if you have watched the introduction series, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it is a technology that has been given to us as our inheritance. And I say that because I want to handle it with the utmost respect and honor that it deserves, with reverence. This is not something that is just to tickle the ears. This is something that it is gated on purpose. And although I have only put it as the minimum of $5, it's still gated. I didn't want to turn people away because they couldn't afford it, but I also wanted it to be a situation where people are investing in themselves. If you're not investing in yourself and being here, then the letters are not going to do what they need to do because you won't be investing yourself into them. It's meant to be reciprocated. Like you show up and they show up, and then they get united and stitched and embedded within you. So I'm going to be holding to that as a technology that is given to, I'm not going to say the chosen people because that gives a wrong connotation. It's given to those who are called to be a kingdom of priests and priestesses. And not everybody is called to that order. There was a call given to Israel intentionally that they would be a light unto the world. Their whole job was to be able to assist in the time of need, which is actually part of the name of Ishu or Yeshua, to come and assist in the time of need. And that is what the priesthood was supposed to be. But because they couldn't escape the slavery, their slavery mindset, instead of being a kingdom of priests, they got a kingdom with a priest. It was completely different. And they began looking like the rest of the world. And we know the rest of the story and the rest of the narrative. So please hold this with reverence. I'm sure you will see as we go. And some of you have already been dealing with it. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Jody.
Can I say something? Mom?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to say something, how you said that it's a language of construction.
Mhm.
And, but I don't want to lose sight of the innocence of it, because it is an organical component of mechanics.
Yes,
And it is given to everyone because it's the language of oracle, but again, it's based on seeing, because oracle is about speaking, but most people just can't see it. So it's given as a broad, but most people just do not see the potential in themselves, and therefore it's hidden until it comes into a standing. So it's the mechanics of standing.
exactly. So just to have you, I had it in my notes, just like there too.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Because we were talking about that this morning. So I want to show you a little bit of something that some of you have already seen this if you watched the introduction series, but I think it's worthy to see again. When we're on the internet, there's a code that runs the internet that we don't see. It's behind the scenes. And the code interfaces so that what we are looking at, it presents it in a way that we can engage with it. And the best way to see it is to see it for yourself. This is very similar to what we're talking about with the code of the sacred languages, because it literally is in the wave form to make the particle happen. So that which is beyond in the ether, in the white fire, manifesting in the physical particle form that we engage in through mental activity in order to see our surroundings. And why it's so profound is that the more we engage in it, the more we're able to see, the more we're able to experience, because our consciousness is increasing with the level of reciprocating of that light code energy that is changing us from the inside out. So even our visual, our hearing, everything is being highlighted and enhanced because of this code and what it does. So let me show you the practical side of what it looks like. In the internet side of it, I'm going to do a screen share. I'm going to take you to the Bashida very quickly. If you guys haven't seen the Bashida, this is a great place for you guys to go and look at the Aramaic writings, although it is still very surface and very biased. So you're not going to see everything, but it is a great place to touch on. So the code that you do not see, if you right click on your mouse or right click on your pad and go down to where it says inspect, you will see the code behind what we actually see, all here on this right hand side. And as I'm going and scrolling through it, it's showing me the areas of what is being presented and what each one of these codes is presenting to itself in a format that we can actually interact with and interface with. So didn't know if you guys knew that was there, but this is what we're talking about. But this is a practical application to see what it looks like on the flip side. Did you want to share anything on that? You don't have to.
No, I'm just saying, no, you're just talking about the essence of a mechanics of what is being
Yes.
revealed by the word, but there's
Yes.
actually a layer behind the word
It is.
that reveals a greater potential.
Exactly.
It's the surface versus the deep kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
so, and it will teach you, it will integrate through acclamation in that vibration. But again, it's a language of stewardship, it's a language of gatekeeping, and it's definitely a language of responsibility. This is restoring what we have deemed and the world has deemed to be magic, but again, collapsing to fill back up in the innocence of what that word is. It is simply realizing who we are as an experiment through an experience of what science is connected to ether.
Exactly.
And so it's just more of an integration of finding again who we are. It's a wonderful mystery that is able to be solved.
Exactly.